Hi guys, welcome back to Creative Frenzy. Okay, today I just wanted to make some tags out of these sales books that I've coffee dyed actually and stamped. So I've had two different kinds and they do have like a little carbon copy in there, which is kind of cool because it gives you this really aged look once you coffee dye them. Not all of them took to it too easily, but you know, they're great for collage, they're great for tags, base for just about anything really. And you can use both the original and the copy. So anyway, I thought I'd make some tags and take you along with me. So some took to the coffee dye a little bit better than others. All I did was stand it up on side and then I just dribbled the coffee in there, the diluted coffee crystals. And then I just stamped a bunch of different images and just took all my stamps out and just had fun with it. So depending what theme you want, you know, so I'll just show you again this way. I did do some stenciling on some, so you can just have fun with it and just create different things. And then you have it in a little booklet form, and then if you wanted to pull out a couple of them, you absolutely could. So I thought I'd just pull out some and just see what I can do with it. So some of these don't really have a whole lot of coloring space, but that's okay. I'll just pick out a couple of them. And I thought I'd have fun. I'll pick out that one too. Okay. I just have my watercolors off to the side here. Let's see if I can bring them over a bit. I just get mine off of Amazon, but I wanted to, oh, not Amazon, I got it off of AliExpress actually. But you can use anything. You can use markers, pencil crayons, whatever you felt like. So I was just going to do a bunch of these. So a little bit of mass making and just have fun and see what we could do. So I'm trying to stay in sort of a woodland style, I guess, you know, feeling kind of thing. I don't know. But that doesn't mean you have to color it in all the way. So we could just go like, you know, and just make it as simple as possible. You don't even have to do full color. We just want it to feel like a woodland theme, I suppose. Some browns. This is how I sort of get around, you know, coloring things in. And I'm wearing a white t-shirt, so this is probably not the best idea. It's okay. It's all good. So now we just have a little bit of brown. We can just sort of dab it in there. You could be very precise with this, I suppose, if you really wanted to. Whatever you felt like. But I sort of want it to look like, well, obviously watercolors. But it does not have to be precise. Kind of like the idea of just being able to play. And if you didn't like this, you could always do your oxide inks and create a mess on the table and plop it in there and done. Actually, we might actually do a little bit of that. So these ones I don't mind. Kind of like how those turned out. So we'll let those dry. I'll come back to those later. So let's see. We could do it with watercolors too. We don't have to get our oxides. Just put some color down. You could always use some acrylic paint, water it down, spray it, and then just, you know, have something a little bit different. This paper is quite absorbent, so, you know, it shouldn't take too long to dry, but I kind of like that too. And you can always come back in and individually color the leaves in, kind of thing. Do not have to be precise. And that way the person, whoever receives the tag, can always use it to color it in themselves if they wanted to. So you just have a sort of a suggestion of it. And you can always come in and do the leaves. So I kind of like this really pretty green, like a moss. Yeah, I don't have to do all of them. Just some. This is very fall looking, but it's also woodland, so that's okay. So I hope everyone's doing well. It's been a little while since I've been producing videos, so, you know, just recuperating from some sad news. So, you know, I just wanted to take it easy and just have some quiet time at home. I haven't done much of any crafts or anything like that, so, you know, just taking it easy. But I thought I'd come in today and just have a little bit of fun and just do a little bit of easy, simple work. Nothing too major. There. Whether or not, you know, we're going to accomplish much today, I don't know. So I like this fox. We had a fox family. We had a female just down the street from us. She had like 7 little babies, and the other day when we came home from groceries, we saw her carry a rabbit in her mouth, you know, to feed her little ones and herself, because she's got 7 of them, so that's a lot of mouths to feed. And she was so proud of herself, and she looked so pretty. Not as bright as this. They're a lot darker because they have to hide quite a bit. But we live in sort of a wooded area, which is, you know, we see quite a bit of wildlife in our area, which is really cool. So if it's taken too long for it to dry, you can always come in and dab some of that up. But I like how that looks. So you can pick and choose what you want to color in. But yeah, so this female fox, she had 7 little ones. And she was following my daughter from the mailbox home one day. Well, not following her, but definitely, you know, close on her heels kind of thing. It was just fun to see some wildlife in their neighborhood. So I thought that was kind of cool. We have a lot of rabbits in our neighborhood, and coyotes a little bit further out. Coyotes I'm not too crazy about. They always sound like they're partying. They're very, very loud at night. And when my daughter used to go riding, it always sounded like there was a party out in the field. And it was kind of interesting to hear all the noise. Anyway, so yeah, so lots of squirrels too. Somebody keeps feeding them in our neighborhood, which I'm not too fond of, but you know, it's all good. Lots of birds. We have a family of cardinals that live in our backyard. Or yeah, and I love their bird song. They're very loud though, and when they have their babies, it's really cute. So anyway, let's get these tags going. So they're pretty much dry. So at this point, I'm going to choose some cardstock to put it on. So this is just some really bright cardstock. I would normally not use in anything else, so this is what I'm going to glue it onto, and then I will glue some writing paper on the back. So for making tags, we might as well make them a little bit sturdy. So because these are doubled, right? So they're carbon copies. So let's choose something that's a little bit drier. There we go. So you could glue the carbon copy onto here if you wanted to, and because they're already attached, it would take much. But I kind of like getting the most out of my paper. So this will get used for another tag, or I don't know, whatever I feel like. Yeah, I'm sure there's a bunch of different things you can do with them. They're great for collage. You could use them for just about anything. Where's my glue stick? There it is. So all I'm going to do is glue that down. So yeah, there's plenty of wildlife, and now that all the, you know, the bushes and the trees have all sprouted their leaves and everything else, it's very simple for all the wildlife to sort of hide and, you know, get out of everyone's way. I tend to leave a little bit of space because I want to cut around it. And we're going to glue them all down so it'll be easier to cut out. So there we go. Try to make a bunch of these at the same time so you're not, you know, sitting there forever. Mask making is something I never used to do. I do it now because I do enjoy having a bunch of different things available. Let's see, do I have enough space? Probably not. Okay, that's all right. You could just do it onto you know, book page or something like that. You probably need a few layers, and then if you wanted to sew around it, you absolutely could. That'd be kind of cool too. But I kind of like this whole, I don't know, the look of this. So it looks a lot of, looks like fun to me. And watercolors take a little bit longer to dry, so you have to be careful when you're gluing. Hopefully I don't rip it. That's where a glue stick is a little bit gentler. And it's fairly thin paper, so it probably wouldn't take much to tear. And I really just wanted to use this cardstock up that I've had in my stash for a while. This blue is pretty bright. You could do this for just about anything. So if you wanted to get rid of some of your scrapbook papers you don't really like the looks of, that you would never really use, you know, it's something that's been sitting around, so you can use that up. You don't have to donate it if you don't want to. Just use it up, and that way it saves them money because you have the supplies already on hand, which is kind of neat. And one more. We'll just do 4 for today. So yeah, I haven't been in the studio much, creating anyway. I've done a few little things. I'm still waiting for some shipments to come in, so I'll probably do more videos once that shows up. But in the meantime, I've had this sales book stamped up, and I hadn't done anything with it, so I figure I'd do a video on that for today. So I'm just going to cut these out. Now you can trim these obviously if you didn't want them to be this tall, but I like having all that extra space. And you could use coffee dyed paper on the back, or in this case I'm going to use lots of, I have tons and tons of packing paper, and you know, that's what I'm going to use for today. This does tend to curl quite a bit, so, but only until it dries. Once it's dry, it'll be much easier to lay it flat under a heavy book or something like that. So that's what we're going to do. Because right now they're curling up because they're still damp. Don't forget, you know, we did some watercolor on there, and the glue is, even though it's not like liquid, it still curls the paper quite a bit. I can't cut straight for the life of me. So, you know, if this kind of thing bothers you, by all means use a paper trimmer. Obviously I'm butchering that one, so we'll just leave that alone. So here, because it was wet, some of that tore through. Now you can cover it up with, you know, a sticker or some other paint, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You could put some brown ink on that, but because there is some green on here, I mean, it sort of blends in anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. Now once I come to use it, I might be concerned, but for now we'll leave it. So I like using these 12 by 12 pages. I've had them forever, actually, as substrates because, like I said, I'm not using them for anything else. So see how much that curls? So all we are going to do is sort of go like that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to glue them onto this. What I like about this paper, it's already perforated, so it makes it easy to just sort of rip and take apart. Again, I'm just going to glue them all down at the same time. Gives them a chance to dry a little bit and just, you know, adhere nicely. You can sew around these, which would be a lot of fun. I might do that, I don't know. But I'll probably end up doing that off camera, which is okay. Just make sure it's adhered nicely. My corners usually get skipped somehow, so I will come back and probably do a better job with my corners later if I see it pulling away. There's always an edge that you miss somewhere. It's okay to go upside down. Okay. Can I fit two this way? Yes, I can. Always try to make the most of your paper. Now, you could obviously, like I said, use several layers of book page, but I don't know, to be honest, all that gluing would drive me crazy. You could obviously sew it on there if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. But I saw these little sales books at the Dollar Tree, and it's like, yes. It's just a fun way of using some different papers and making some tags out of them. I think is a really cool idea. It's probably not a new idea. I probably saw it somewhere on Pinterest or on YouTube. I don't recall how or who, rather. So, but anyway, either way, I get very curly. Alrighty. So again, if the blue bothers you, you can obviously come in and ink the edges with a nice dark walnut stain or something like that. Actually, I might do that. And then you could use either some lace or some ribbon, whatever you felt like using for the topper. I like how the splotches turned out on this. I think it looks really cool. And it's still light enough that you can journal on that if you wanted to, or, you know, whatever you felt like. If you didn't want to do it all on the back, you know, you could do it either or, which is nice. Oops. There we go. Now you could use cereal box for this too if you wanted thicker card. If you find, you know, this is not thick enough, then you can obviously use cardboard or something like that. But once you lay these down underneath something, or once they dry, actually, they're a lot better. So I've done that before with so many other things, you know, with napkins and things like that. So I do promise you that they dry nice and stiff. So it's not going to be too thin. So my stamps, like I said, I get from AliExpress. You can get them from Amazon. You know, go through your stamp stash, see what you have. You can probably come up with some really cool scenery pieces, you know, once you start looking through them. I just started with one thing, you know, just something tall, and then a butterfly, and then a leaf set, or an animal, or, you know, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. So there are our tags. Let me just get some other things. Hold on. Let's see. So we need some ink. And then let's see, what else do we need? We need some hole reinforcers. A hole punch would be helpful. Some glue. What else do we need? Some lace or ribbon. In this case, I'm using some lace, which would be really pretty. Okay, so let's ink these. Again, you can use a darker ink if that makes you feel better about the background. I don't mind the little bit of blue peeking through. Now, if it were hot pink, I might think differently. But for this, it's not a big deal. I mean, you could always do like a black aging around the edges or whatever. You could do any color, really. You could do a nice dark brown. I like it the way it is. You could do the other side, but it's fairly dark back there anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. you could always turn these into pockets or side tucks or whatever. You could do it in any which way you want. In this case, I am going to, so from AliExpress, I got the, oh, let's see, die cut. So this is how I store my dies. So I got one of these, and I just use cardstock to make my little hole reinforcers. Oops, I am so sorry. My goodness. All right. Hold on. There we go. All right. There. I went to fix my hair, and I hit the camera instead. Yay. Sorry. So all I do is put some glue around the edges. I mean, you could use the sticker ones too if you want it, but I'm having a hard time finding the sticker ones. Like, I looked at the dollar store, I looked at the stationery section. I think the one where I do have it, I got it at Goodwill, I think, which is, you know, odd, but oh well. We'll do the other side, only because it looks nice, and I like having that bit of darkness around. I mean, you could punch these out of printed cardstock, you know, like some pretty cardstock. Paper pad, but I like the plain ones for this. So I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, so having that sort of stabilized makes it a little bit easier to use. So there we go. All right, let's get this out of the way. Lace. That's what we need. Now, you can tie this through. I don't know. Oh, this is not even glued. See what I mean? Okay, we'll go back in and fix that. Hold on. Glue stick to the rescue. There we go. Have to check every now and then, make sure it's all attached, and if not, then, you know, when you see this, just go in with your wet glue. Just a little bit will do. There we go. Yeah, sometimes I miss a whole section, and then I wonder, it's like, how did it even fix itself? Anyway, so you could do a bow or whatever, but this is not fancy. I want it to look kind of rough-ish, you know, or junk journaly kind of thing. So I kind of like that. And once these are dry, like I said, they will stiffen up, so they'll be more stable to use. You could use string on this too. Baker's twine, whatever you felt like. I just had a little bit of a shopping trip at the Dollar Tree not that long ago, and I bought all this ribbon. It's really pretty, this lace one. I thought it would be perfect for this kind of tag. There we go. And one more. Oh, that's really uneven, isn't it? let's fix that. I mean, you don't have to tie a knot in it if you don't want to. There we go. A little bit better. So there we have our little tags from a sales book. There we go. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.